Hello, Colts Nation, and what is up, No Horse and Family? Welcome back to another episode of the No Horse Around podcast. As always, I am one of two dudes talking Colts. I am one of your hosts, Stephen Burton, and as always, we are brought to you by our amazing sponsor, WagerWire. WagerWire is a once-in-a-lifetime revolutionary sports betting app that allows you to get in and out of your bets all the way up to the moment that the game starts, and even get in and out of your parlays, multi-team parlays, game parlays right up to the moment before they bust. If you got a 3-team parlay, you can get it after 2. It's really, really cool. Make sure you go to their website, www.wagerwire.com. Check them out on Twitter at WagerWire, and you can check them out on Threads. I think it's wager_wire. I'll double check it and I'll let you guys know for sure. And then just check out their Twitter spaces, by fans, for fans. It's really cool. So I thought this would be a fun little topic today because as we know, training camp is quickly approaching. We got a lot of really cool things that are going to be coming up before you know it. But before that, coming across this week is the Madden ratings, and it kind of lets you know where the NFL stands and where people stand on the different players, right? So we've seen, they've dropped a couple of different position groups, and then today they dropped the defensive line, defensive end, outside linebackers, things like that. But what I want to talk about is like the name of the title, right? It's Deforest Buckner, right? So Deforest Buckner came in on the Madden ratings with an 86, 1 point above Big Grove, which is like amazing that Grover Stewart is an 85. Like we talk about how underrated he is as a player, and he's 85, right below 86 with Deforest Buckner. Now, see, that's my beef. That's my issue. That's what we're going to talk about today, right? Is Deforest Buckner, in my opinion, criminally underrated as a defensive tackle? Yes. The fact that he came in at an 86 blows my mind, right? So when you look at some of the people who are in front of him, you're talking about Jonathan Allen, Quinnen Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Chris Smith. I mean, it's crazy to see the people that they have in front of him. And then you look at who made 90s: Jonathan Allen, Quinnen Williams, Dexter Lawrence, and Chris Smith, right? So let's get a little perspective. Let's back up and let's kind of take a perspective on this. Since joining the Colts in 2020, okay, Deforest Buckner has 121 solo tackles, 79 assisted tackles, 24 and a half sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, all while playing 49 games. Okay. Last year, Deforest Buckner had 8 sacks, 74 combined tackles. Okay. 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. And he played all 17 games. Now let's put this in a little bit of perspective, right? So one of the other names that's obviously in front of him has been, or a lot was talked about, was Jeffrey Simmons, right? So let's go through this. I did a little bit of deep dive research, right? So let's go through this and let's look at some of these people who are in front of him. Jonathan Allen, right? Like right there. Jonathan Allen since 2020 has 111 solo tackles, 79 assisted tackles, 18 and a half sacks, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 pick. So if you're looking and you're comparing, Deforest Buckner has better stats. Last year, Jonathan Allen had 65 total tackles, 7.5 sacks. I believe, okay. So Deforest Buckner has better stats than him last year, right? So that's one. That's one on the list, right? Then you look at, you go up again. Quinnen Williams just got paid. Monster contract, right? 103 solo tackles, 60 assisted tackles, 25 sacks, 1 fumble recovery in the last 44 games. Let's revisit again. 121, 24 and a half, 2 fumble recoveries. My opinion, it looks like Deforest Buckner has better stats than him. And let's go up again, right? You go up again to Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence had 92 solo tackles, 83 assists, 14 sacks in the last 48 games. Last season, 7.5 sacks, 68 combined tackles, 2 forced fumbles, right? I don't get it, you guys. Like, and then you can even go up, you can even make the jump up to who is always going to be up at the top. He's a 99 all the time, and it's Aaron Donald, right? So Aaron Donald in the last 3 seasons since 2020, we're comparing since DeForest Buckner came to the Colts, right? Like that's where we're comparing, right? So Aaron Donald has 92 solo tackles, 86 assists, 31 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries in 44 games. Okay. Sack wise, well above. Tackle wise, well below. Fumble recoveries is right on par. 1 forced fumble, right? You go to last year, which is a lot of times what they're going to base it on. They're going to base it on the last year. He played 11 games, okay, had 49 total tackles and 5 sacks. Let's keep it in perspective. Last year, DeForest Buckner had 74 total tackles, 8 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and he played in 17 games. So my question is that I pose to you guys is he criminally underrated? Absolutely. Ask everyone on Colts Twitter, on Colts threads. Ask him on YouTube. He's criminally underrated. The fact that he came in at 86, and I just showed you guys stats from not just the last 3 years, the last year, and he's on par or above most of these people who are rated above him. So I want to hear from you guys. Do y'all think that DeForest Buckner is underrated? Do you think he should have been higher? You think he's on par because of how bad the season was last year? But individually, he had a great season, right? Like they don't take into account the wins for the players that the team has. It's how they played, and he played really well. He played at an all-pro level, and yet he comes in at 86, below a Dexter Lawrence, a Quinnen Williams, a Jeffrey Simmons. It's confusing, and I think he's underrated because also the value that he's brought to the defense since he's been here has been outstanding. He's had that same effect. He's one of the highest paid defensive tackles in the league. There's a reason for that. He kind of very similar changed the defense the way that Quentin Nelson changed the offensive line when he came in. I think he's very underrated. You don't hear him talked about as one of the best in the league, and he by far is. So y'all tell me what you think. Is he underrated? Would you have rated him higher? Do you think outside of Madden too, just in general, do you think he's underrated because he's not mentioned as one of the best defensive tackles in the league, which he is? Drop it in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. As always, you guys, please like, share, subscribe, comment, all those great things. We love it. We're closing in. Training camp is exactly almost 1 week away. Y'all be on the lookout. We got a lot of really great stuff coming leading into training camp. And then once that hits, we're off and running, and we're super excited. I'm going to be at training camp. Zach's going to be there. We're going to try to hook up with James Boyd and maybe try to see Kevin Bowen out there, and we're going to try to see Cody and Derek. We're going to do our best to kind of connect with some people while we're up there, and then obviously get a lot of great information and a lot of fun videos for you guys at that time when we're up there at camp. So, as always, I love you. I know Zach loves you. I'm out.